The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, you got to take a side on this one. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Guy goes on a date, met the girl through Hinge. A lot of people out there doing that, okay? I mean, I met my wife on Match. It's a great way to meet people.
You really should have an endorsement for that.
I should.
You're literally married.
2 years married.
Because of your Match.
2 years. 2 years married, 7-month-old child, and 5.5 years together.
You should be on their commercial.
Match people, are you listening? I'm for a
you
price.
You guys would be really cute on the commercial with the baby.
Well, that would sell it, man. I think
you need a better agent.
I do.
Which is ironic because we have the same agent, but still, he does more for me.
All right, take a side here. Take a side on this one. This is a guy that went on a Hinge date. I'll let him explain what happened and what was a red flag, apparently, for the girl he met up with.
So I went on a first date with this girl. We were getting along, and then she asked me, hey, what's your past relationship experience like? I was being very honest, and I told her, I've never had a girlfriend before in my life. And then she laughs a little, and then when we get home, I message her, hey, I had a good time. I'd love to see you again. And she never responds. And then I take a quick look at her Hinge profile, and I see that she's updated one of her prompts. My most irrational fear is being someone's first girlfriend.
Oh.
What are people like me supposed to do? Were there relationship internships I was supposed to apply for or something?
A relationship internship.
I was just thinking that. It's like when a job won't give you a chance and you're like, how am I supposed to start?
Yeah.
Ever.
I love this guy. I think he's awesome. And he's just a guy that has not had a real relationship in his life.
Here's the thing. You can go out with guys who have not had serious relationships, and they can seem scummy, and you can tell why they don't have serious relationships because it's like they're maybe trying to hook up with everybody so they don't take anyone serious, or they're super selfish. All those are reasons why you wouldn't want to be with somebody. To choose to not be with somebody just because of that, if they don't have a bunch of signs that they seem like a great person, like, that's stupid. Because to be honest, it could be a benefit. Like, you don't deal with any baggage.
Right.
They're coming in baggage free. Yeah. So if they actually got it together and they're a good guy, that's not a reason to not date them.
You were saying you could train him. You wanted to say that, but you didn't say those words. You could train this guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody trains their significant other a little
bit. Facts.
It's
indeed.
true.
Yeah, but I don't see this as a red flag, but you guys decide. Take a side. Is it a red flag if the guy said, I've never been in a relationship, I've never had a girlfriend, and he's probably in his, I guess, early 20s, it looks like, something like that, maybe mid-20s?
Early 20s. I was going to say how old, too. So early 20s? No. That's not a big deal at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can't gauge. He could be anywhere from 20 to 30, let's say. I can't gauge. It's hard to tell. I used to be able to guess people's ages pretty good. I can't do it anymore. Sorry.
You lost that talent.
I lost that skill. But what do you say on this? What say you? 312-591-8300. Because we talked about red flags on this show to death. Something that hits you in the head. Never having a relationship or just saying, I've never had a girlfriend. Is that, or if it's the other way around too, if you're a guy, if she's, I've never had a boyfriend, is that weird? Would that make you scare you away and then go to Hinge and change your profile? That's one of my pet peeves.
It's not a red flag until it's a red flag. So if he was doing something sketchy and you're like, maybe this is why it hasn't worked out. But if he's being super nice, he's also being honest. You asked a question.
Yeah.
Would you prefer him to lie?
Right.
I love that. He's probably nervous to share that answer, but still gave the honest answer. That's also a really good sign. That's a green flag.
Yeah.
That's admitting something. You'd be, I've had tons of girls. Like, he's not trying to do that.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer that she did that. I hope he meets somebody awesome. That's not her.
I think a lot of us, we agree on this. Usually we take a different side on this thing. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that takes the other side, because you can chime in. I want to know if maybe you were in that situation. You went out with somebody and they said that, and it didn't work out well for whatever reason. Like, oh, well, they never had a relationship, so they didn't understand blank. Maybe sex. Maybe they didn't understand, they didn't have enough experience in the bedroom, and that turned you off. I don't know.
had a friend who said that to me once. She goes, I would never want to date a virgin. And I'm like, why? She told me she didn't feel like training him. Like, she didn't want that emotional baggage of him associating. I'm like, that's kind of sweet. How could that bother you? I don't know. It's me.
She wanted an all-pro. She wanted.
I'm good. I don't need a pro. That's fine.
Well, I'm dedicating this song to that girl because I think it was very mean. And also, she's missing out, and she's never going to find anybody, I think, that girl. Now I'm kind of bullying. I guess maybe I shouldn't say that at all. Anyway,
that's probably a bit aggressive.
but I don't like it because this guy seems like a nice dude.
Yeah, I don't like bullying. I get very mad about it.
Yeah, she kind of bullied him online, or at least on the Hinge profile. But what say you on this at 312-591-8300? Someone tells you they've never had a girlfriend or boyfriend. It's Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 talking about a guy. I played the audio for you of a guy who was on a Hinge date, and the girl asked, tell me about some of your previous relationships. And he said, I didn't have one. I've never had a girlfriend, ever. And then he reached out to her after the date, said, hey, I had a great time. She never gets back to him, and then changes her Hinge profile to say that's not what she's looking for, is someone that's never had a girlfriend, never had a relationship. That song, Cold Hard Bitch, dedicated to her. I think that's very mean.
It was really mean to do. I don't know if it's that drastic, but that was mean. You ask him a question, he gives you an honest answer, and then you attack him and hurt him. It was just super, super not needed.
A lot of people shooting their shot now with Kenzie saying that
they're a virgin.
Kenzie said, I like virgins.
Why does think why how many issues do we as women, and I know men have issues too, but I'm speaking to this specifically in this scenario, that how many issues do we have of men not being faithful, playing a field, ex-girlfriend, that's prevalent. Wouldn't it be nice to have none of it if they were also a good partner? I'm not throwing an immediate flag on that at all.
I think Rachel was in Valpo, so let's hear from Rachel. Ahoy, Rachel.
Ahoy.
So you have an experience that would say this is a red flag?
Unfortunately, yes. I actually was good friends with a guy, and he hadn't dated anybody before, and I, didn't want to be shallow, so I gave it a shot. We dated for about a year, and just the emotional maturity was not there, and when I did break up with him, he just did not get it and made, alternate accounts to message me, couldn't leave me alone, and threatened to commit arson on my house. And
whoa. Slow down. He tried to burn your house down?
He joked about it, air quotes around joke.
Oh, my God. I'm going to burn your house down in air quotes. I don't think the air quotes dilute that.
Is he just quoting himself? I just said this out loud.
So I just said it out loud to myself while petting my kitten.
This is a direct quote.
Holy cow. I'm sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. It's kind of funny now, but it was pretty scary at the time. So just be careful with being somebody's first everything,
Yeah, but I think yours is more of a unique situation.
And I will say, just because a guy hasn't had a girlfriend before, there's guys with girlfriends who are also crazy, or girls that are crazy even though they've had relationships.
Right.
And unfortunately, as we've all experienced in the dating world, just because you meet somebody with experience doesn't mean they've hit the maturity level you'd like them to.
Yeah, it's the other way, really, a lot of times.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Did you find somebody more experienced, Rachel?
I did. I have someone now, and we're very happy.
Oh, that's good. As long as it doesn't burn the house down, you're all good.
That's good.
Right.
All right, well, thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. Lorinda checking in from Sugar Grove. Lorinda, ahoy.
Ahoy, how are you?
Excellent.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So I'm coming at this from probably your angle that I don't see a red flag. I have two older girls and we still have a 13-year-old at home. And I feel that they're 30, that their generation really wanted to hook up with somebody, right? They needed that solid boy toy to keep up with the Joneses. But I'm looking at it I think the kids nowadays really just want to be friends. They don't want a serious relationship. They're focused on so many other things. They're not looking to get married at 22 or 20 and start a family. They just want to have fun.
Well, that's true. A lot of people are definitely marrying late, having kids late, or not even having kids at all. So that definitely has changed in that world. But also, yeah, at this point, she's looking for a guy, and he says that. It's more about just, I guess, her just take on a guy that's never... You might find this more often, I guess, is what you're saying, that there's more and more people out there who say, I've never had a girlfriend, I never had a boyfriend.
Right. And I think she's being a witch. I do. I think she's being really witchy. Like you said, give him a try. He could be the nicest guy in the world and just be shy around girls. But he's finally ready to start in the dating pool, right?
Yep. And you can train him like Kenzie wants.
That's what I mean. being able to form them immediately.
I can see you.
Nobody messed it up. Are you kidding me? The first one to knead the dough. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
She's
about.
like salivating over here. Kenzie's doing that Mr. Burns. All right. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Stephanie in Plainfield saying that dating someone that's never dated anybody else is a big green flag because she did it. Stephanie, ahoy.
Hi, ahoy. Good morning.
So you're all in on this. This is okay, right?
Yeah. I met my husband. I met my husband online, and he had never dated anybody before. I was his first girlfriend. I was 21, and he was 27, so he was pretty old. But his friends pushed him, and they're like, just try it, just try it. They had met their girlfriends, which then turned into wives online. And on our first date, I knew, this is the man for me. I am going to marry this man. He felt the same way. And we have been together for 12 years.
Wow.
I love him more every single day. We have 2 kids together. He is the best father, best husband, amazing person. I'm so lucky I found him and that no one else grabbed him up before I got to him. So
First to knead the dough. You see what happens here? That's what I'm talking about.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, if you just joined us, we played the audio of a guy that went on a Hinge date, and I'll let him explain what happened. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
So I went on a first date with this girl. We were getting along, and then she asked me, hey, what's your past relationship experience like? I was being very honest, and I told her, I've never had a girlfriend before in my life. And then she laughs a little, and then when we get home, I message her, hey, I had a good time. I'd love to see you again. And she never responds. And then I take a quick look at her Hinge profile, and I see that she's updated one of her prompts. My most irrational fear is being someone's first girlfriend.
Oh.
What are people like me supposed to do? Were there relationship internships I was supposed to apply for or something?
Apparently, Kenzie's giving out relationship internships on the text line right now.
I am not.
I
wasn't soliciting.
It just kind of happened that way when you say I like virgins.
That's not what I said.
We'll go back to the podcast and see if that's what you said exactly or not. I might be paraphrasing. But Rocky's checking in from Logan Square. I think it's stupid of that girl's part to do that because, you're basically eliminating someone. At least go on a few more dates. Now, we had our girl from Indiana check in. That was an extreme situation of dating someone who's never had a relationship, and the guy tried to burn her house down, or at least talked about it.
Yeah, but I mean, that can happen even if they've had a past relationship.
That's right. That can happen with the nicest guy out there with a fix-up.
I've dated some crazies.
Some burning house capable guys.
They had unfortunately, slept with a lot of other people, even when we dated. So,
Keeping it hot, that burning down the house energy they have.
Yeah, keeping it spicy.
Rocky's checking in from Logan Square. Rocky, ahoy.
Yara, mateys, what's up?
What's going on? What's your story?
Yeah. So my story is my partner and I, we were each other's first everythings. We met when we were 14 years old in high school, dated throughout high school, but broke up in college. 5 years later, we reconnected. I dated people he did not. So that, I don't know if that counts, but...
Are you sure you didn't date anybody when you guys broke up in college?
I dated, he did not.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You do a DNA test on anything?
When you say date, do you mean even go on a generic date or get into another serious relationship?
He wouldn't go on any kind of dates. He didn't hook up. He's not that kind of person. We talked about it, where I was like, would you like to be with other people? And he said, I thought about it, just not interested. I'm more just invested in what we had together after we reconnected. Yeah, he's very sweet. And from my perspective, he's very accomplished. His art has been an art on the mart. He's a computer scientist. And we just moved in together after dating for another year. And it's just been, from my perspective, that, whether or not, he's had, dates with other people or he's been with other people is basically irrelevant in terms of who he is as a partner and what he means to me.
Wow.
And he has not threatened to burn down my house once.
I love that for you. I do.
That's a good sign. Congratulations. If they bring that up, move on. Listen, we're gonna move this over to Facebook. You want to jump on there, but the conversation is Is it a red flag that you've never had a girlfriend or boyfriend? We agree it's fine. It's Q101. It's Brian and Kenzie.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Yeah, you can still not even see. We talked about this at 6 a.m. And at this point, I can't see the lake where we are in NBC Tower with all the Canadian wildfire smoke. That's what it is. I thought this all got solved and taken care of like a month ago when they canceled the White Sox game in New York. And then it said, oh, it's all gone now. The air all went like out the Atlantic Ocean. It blew away. Now we're getting it all of a sudden. I mean, Canadians do better. Get on those forest fires. Get out there. Come on.
Don't blame all of the Canadians.
Well, the people in charge definitely dropped the ball on this one a little bit.
I don't think a lot of Canadians are enjoying it either,
I haven't seen an upset Canadian in a while. They're all pretty happy. I walked out this morning at 3 a.m. I thought someone was grilling brats right in my neighborhood. And I'm like, hey, someone's grilling out brats, little breakfast brats. But people checking in from all parts of the city. I don't know if, like Northwest Burbs, you're out in Elgin. I don't know at this point if it still smells like this outside because it's kind of moved over the lake.
Last night was rough. We had the baseball game, and we turned the lights on at 5:15 is when the game started. And I'm like, is it foggy? I was trying to figure out. It was the weirdest look outside because it also had rained, and it was just so funky. And now I'm realizing it was this air.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, my God.
Well, there's a lot of low visibility due to the smoke, and don't do prolonged outdoor activity. So all y'all that were thinking about running, 5 miles today.
I was literally going to garden today. I had a few more things to plan.
Yeah. I was going to go for a run, but I'm not now.
You have not ran. How was the last time you went for a run? I can't even think. Right, 20 years ago when all the other stories took place.
No. This one was just a year ago when I ran through O'Hare when the blue line stopped and I was late. And I ran full speed, almost knocked over a grandma, and got to the gate right when they were closing the door. And I thought I was going to die. I have not ran full speed like you're running from the cops.
Were you already on the platform?
What platform?
Like you were on the train platform, you just had to run to the door?
No. I had to run through O'Hare to get to the gate. I made the train.
Okay.
My bad if I explained it poorly.
All the way through O'Hare.
Yeah. Turns, people just standing there on their phones. I made it, but boy, I needed the ice bath recovery to get through that next day. Yeah, that was that was it. Speaking of which, I didn't mention that in sports. So your kids' game, what happened last night? Give a little recap in the sports world there.
We won, baby. Extra innings. Okay. It was very, very stressful. They also have they use like MLB rules where you have like a runner on second and stuff, which I didn't. It was my first extra innings in Mustang baseball. So I'm like, oh my. So
he's 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very stressful. And actually, there's an amazing kid on the team who hit a home run over 2 fences that tied the game.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking third graders, okay?
Right.
This is intense. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So that was great. It's like bases loaded. We went into extra. We had 2 extra innings. Nobody scored anything the first time. It was so stressful, dude.
Wow.
But we ended up winning. Okay, we got 3rd place trophies. So we were playing the 4th place team. Thank you.
Congrats.
The whole league was good. There's more than 4 teams, so it was a big deal to come in there.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All our people are checking in here. Q101, Brian and Kenzie from all over about the smoke. The Canadian smoke that's taken over our city. And some people are mistaking it with the Indiana sulfur smell from the weekend. That was something completely different. That was a BP refinery, and it smelled like rotten eggs. This smells like brats. It smells pretty good. I'm ready to go eat.
Yikes.
Kevin checked in from all over. Lombard still smells like burnt, wet mulch. You're a gardener.
Less bratty over there.
Yeah, it's less bratty. Naperville groundskeeper checked in. We're choking on this crap all day long. Wish us luck. Yeah. Out there on the golf course. I did that job. I mean, I wasn't a groundskeeper. I was like way under the groundskeeper. Like telling me to go dig ditches on the golf course and sand traps and stuff.
You created sand traps?
Yeah, you had to dig a hole and put sand in it.
No.
You don't think I did that?
No.
You don't believe me right now.
I don't believe you.
Case, can you believe this? Case, the producer doesn't believe I dug a sand trap. You don't believe me either? Who do I got?
No way. They had you in charge of landscaping.
I
That's
wasn't-
a genuinely important job to create the sand traps and where they are and how large they are. They're on the maps of the golf course. You were not in charge of that.
You don't think that I wasn't the guy in charge like the groundskeeper, but they told me to go dig it and I had to dig it.
They're not just casually adding sand traps every day.
They move things. They move the holes. I dug ditches. I dug things on the golf course.
Hold on, is that true? Do they often move the golf course?
They don't move sand traps. They move the holes, but sometimes
Where do they move the holes to?
They move them all over the green. They're not
Why?
No,
So
they
it's not-
don't. They don't always move
Okay,
the
okay. You know,
holes.
guys, get in your lane here. They move holes. They move them so it's more interesting for the people that golf all the time. I want the groundskeeper to call up. Come on,
You were
man.
not in charge.
I wasn't in charge, but I was told what to do, and I dug.
You dug a sand trap.
I dug a sand trap.
Swear on Harper's life right now.
I swear on Harper's life that I dug a sand trap.
Everybody.
Why are you laughing so hard?
Because I'm really
Oh my
scared.
God, call Harper and check on it. Oh my God, where's Harper?
They're proof of life. Oh my God. Oh no.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.